Hi, good afternoon. Sorry that I couldn't be with you today. We're going to look at conversions. Before you start this, make sure you have this worksheet with you. Also, make sure that you watch the first conversion video, which is a short YouTube clip that kind of gives you the gist of how to do this. So as we start, you're going to make sure that you include your conversions in all the examples, and then you are going to turn this in before you leave. Okay, if you don't have time to finish, as long as you're working the entire time, and the sub tells me that, then that's okay, but you want to focus on getting it right. So I'm going to do these first few examples, and then you're going to finish up this page, and then we'll move on from there. So in this first one, the king has 12 rabbits, and he is looking for some pigs. All right, so the question is, how many pigs can he get from these rabbits? And we have all of these conversions at the top that tell us how we can trade rabbits for chickens, or we can trade rabbits for bears. Okay, remember we're trying to get pigs though. So I think the best route here would be to trade rabbits for chickens, and then we could trade our chickens for ducks, and then ducks for pigs. Alright, so you kind of get the concept. Let's see what this setup would look like. You start every problem by writing down what you're given. So 12 rabbits. I'm going to do R for short. I don't have a lot of room, and I'm trying to write with kind of a chunky stylus. So 12 rabbits, and then we go times in a line on the conversions. What you're looking to get rid of always goes on the bottom. So R on the bottom. And we're trying to find pigs, but we can't go directly to pigs. So first we're going to have to get chickens. So I'm going to put a C up here for chickens. Alright, so right here we see that 3 rabbits will give me 2 chickens. Okay, so that's our first conversion factor. The rabbits cancel. That's the goal of putting them on top and bottom. And now we have traded them for chickens. Alright, but we don't really want chickens. So let's go and trade these chickens for ducks. Chickens on bottom so they can cancel, and ducks on the top. According to the sheet, 4 chickens will get me 6 ducks. Okay, so that'll cancel chickens. So now we've traded our chickens for ducks, and then finally we can trade our ducks for pigs. Right, so according to the conversion again, 4 ducks equals 1 pig. When you make these fractions, these are called conversion factors, and they have to come from something true. So 2 chickens can be traded for 3 rabbits. That's coming from the conversion table. Don't use the number they gave you in the problem, this 12, in a fraction. That just goes at the beginning of the problem. Alright, so now ducks cancel, and then we do our math. It's going to be 12 times 2. You multiply by the top number, divided by 3. Then you keep going. Times 6, divided by 4. Times 1, divided by 4. So you just go through and multiply by your top number and divide by your bottom. So 12 times 2 is 24. Divided by 3 is 8. Times 6 is 48. Divided by 4 is 12. Times 1 is 12. Divided by 4 is 3. So you can get 3 pigs. Okay? Alright, again, pause anytime you need to and look back through and make sure you have that on your paper as well. Number 2. Alright, now he wants to make bacon sandwiches. So he's got his pigs, but he needs bread for his sandwiches. So we're trying to get some bread, and he's going to use his 9 rabbits. Alright, so let's switch colors here for this one. We'll use red for number 2. Alright, bread for rabbits. Or rabbits for bread, actually. So how are we going to get bread from our rabbits? Well, if we look up here, we can trade rabbits for either chicken or bear. Okay, if we look on the table at the top, I think chickens is going to be the quickest way to get to bread. Because if we trade the rabbits for chicken, then we can trade the chicken for bread. Right? So, 9 rabbits times, and a line. What goes on the bottom? What you're getting rid of, so rabbits. The first thing we're going to do is trade those rabbits for chicken. So chicken on the top. There's 3 rabbits can be traded for 2 chickens. Okay, so rabbits cancel. Now we have chickens. All right, and we're trying to get to bread. So now chickens on the bottom can cancel, and we know that 1 chicken can get us 4 loaves of bread. All right, so that one only took 2 steps. We can trade our rabbits for chicken and then trade our chickens for bread. Chicken cancels. 9 divided by 3 is 3. No, excuse me, 9 times 2, multiplied by your top number. 9 times 2, 18. Divided by 3 is 6. Times 4, 24. Divided by 1. So 24, it's quite a bit of bread. 24 loaves of bread. All right. Next question. How many pigs will the king get for 9 rabbits? So we're starting with rabbits. I'm going to switch to blue here. And trying to get pigs. All right. So how can we trade our rabbits to get pigs? All right, we did this sort of on number 1. So I think we should trade the rabbits for chickens, then the chickens for ducks, and then the ducks for pigs. So 9 rabbits. We're going to trade those for chickens. So rabbit on the bottom so it can cancel, chicken on the top. 3 rabbits get us 2 chickens. Okay, times and a line. We can then, that gets rid of rabbits, we can then trade our chickens for ducks. So 4 chickens, chicken on the bottom so it'll cancel. We'll get us 6 ducks. Chickens cancel. Now we can trade our ducks for 1 pig. So 4 ducks, ducks on the bottom so ducks can cancel, and 1 pig. Ducks cancel. Anything that's on the top and then the bottom, or the bottom then the top, can cancel. Alright, so then we do our math. 9 times 2, 18, divided by 3 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Divided by 4 is 9. 9 times 1 is 9. Divided by 4 is 2.25. Now, obviously, you can't have 2 1/4 pigs. So when we're answering this question, that's just going to be 2 pigs that we'll get out of that deal. Alright, I want y'all to finish 4 through 7. Make sure you're showing your setup really clearly. Talk to each other about it. Don't copy, but seek to understand. So make sure that you're talking through this with a neighbor before you turn it in. Alright? Once you finish 4 through 7, come back to the video and we're going to go on to the next page. Alright, in this section we're going to do some more realistic conversions. We're probably not actually trading pigs for chickens and ducks and live bear. So this is looking at conversions involving the metric system as well as the English system. So we have inches, feet, yards, meters, all those kind of mixed in, and the conversion factors we need are at the top. So the first question is about Randy. Okay, he's in a race, and the first race is a potato sack race, and it is 410 meters long. How many kilometers? Now we learned, or you may have learned, like in physical science or maybe 7th or 8th grade, how to change meters into kilometers by moving the decimal. Okay, and that's certainly a viable option. But on this worksheet, we're going to focus on using conversion factors. Alright, so just like we did on the last sheet, we're going to write down what we're given. 410, and always include the unit, meters. Okay, and then times and a line. Now we're trying to change meters into kilometers, and if we look up here, there's actually a conversion that does just that. It says there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So you can put meters on the bottom. and kilometers, I'm going to abbreviate, on the top. And the conversion says there's 1 kilometer for every 1,000 meters. So that'll allow meters to cancel, and I'll be left with kilometers. So then that's just simple one step. 410 times 1 divided by 1,000. 0.410 kilometers. All right, number 2. After the potato sack race, Randy needs to drive an office chair that is 20,000 feet. Okay, so we're starting with feet. The question is, how many miles does Randy need to travel? So we're trying to go from feet to miles. Okay, so times the line. If we look up here, it says that 1 mile, I'm going to switch colors back to red on this one. 1 mile is 5,284 feet. All right, so feet go on the bottom so they can cancel. And mile on the top, because that's what we're trying to find. So feet can cancel. Now for our numbers, 1 mile is 5,284 feet. All right, now I don't have my calculator with me, but you can do that math. 20,000 times 1 divided by 5,284. All right, all I know is that is a long way to drive an office chair. So make sure that you answer that. Let's say this number really only has one significant figure if we think about our answer. So our answer should probably only have one significant figure too. But just round in a reasonable manner on that. And then we'll have our number that you get from your calculator and miles. Okay. Number 3, the office chair race. Oh, back to number 2. He's going to drive to the office chair race. I thought he was driving the office chair in the race. This makes more sense. So he's driving to the office chair race. Okay, now when he gets to the office chair race is only 3.8 feet long. That's not very far at all. But the question is, how many inches is that? So I'm going to switch to black on this one. So again, you just write down what you're given. 3.8 feet times, and a division sign, your conversion factor. What you're looking for goes on the top, and what you're getting rid of goes on the bottom. We're trying to change feet into inches. Well, we should know, hopefully like from kindergarten or first grade, but a foot is 12 inches. So foot on the bottom to cancel, and inches on the top. So 1 foot, 12 inches. Alright, so then for our math, now that feet have canceled, we can go 3.8 times 12. You multiply by the top number, divided by 1. 3.8 times 12 divided by 1. Now 3.8 has 2 significant figures. So my answer is going to have 2 significant figures. 46 inches. Alright, let's do one more together. After the office chair race, Randy finds himself pursued by the evil Captain Terror. Alright, he needs to swim 0.05 meters to get away. How many centimeters does he swim? Now again, this is a problem where you could move the decimal because you're changing the prefix. You're going from meters to centimeters. But in this one, we want to focus on writing out those conversions. So we'll write what we're given, 0.05 meters times and a line. If we look up here, I'll circle it in yellow. It tells us centimeters in a millimeter. That's not what we need. We need meters and centimeters right there. So we're going to put meters on the bottom and centimeters on the top. We're trying to get rid of meters, and the question is how many centimeters is that? There are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. All right, so 0.05 times 100 divided by 1. Now 0.05 has one significant figure, and so will our answer, 5 centimeters. Okay, so he didn't have to swim very far at all. Alright, so now I want you to pause the video and finish this worksheet. These are all one-step conversions, so it should just take you one conversion factor to get from what they gave you into what they ask you to find. So pause the video, make sure you show your work very clearly, and all your numbers have units on them. Alright, the last page we're going to do today is multi-step conversion. So these are going to take us more than one step to complete. Alright, in the first one, we're asked to convert kilograms to pounds. Alright, so just like always, we write down what we're given, 100 kilograms times in a line. We want to change that to pounds, and actually, right here, it says that 1 kilogram is 2.205 pounds. So looks like we can do this one in just one step. So kilograms go on the bottom to cancel, and pounds on the top. 1 kilogram, 2.205 pounds. All right, so we can multiply by the top number and divide by the bottom. Now 100 kilograms does only have one significant figure, so let's see how we should answer here. In the calculator, it comes out to be 220.5 pounds, right? Because kilograms cancel. So now that's pounds after we multiply and divide by 1. But if we're only going to have one significant figure, then that's going to be 200 with no decimal pounds. All right? To see if that makes sense. I would not count off if you said 220.5 pounds on this one. I'm just looking for a reasonable number of significant figures. Okay, so if you're off on significant figures by a little, that's okay. But if you have like 10 significant figures and there's only supposed to be 3, that's a problem. Right? Number 2, convert 10 yards to kilometers. So do this one in red. 10 yards times in the line. All right, how are we going to get from yards to kilometers? So let's see. We have yards and feet. We have feet and miles. We have miles and kilometers. This one may take us a few steps. So yards and feet. Feet and miles. Miles and kilometers. I think that's the way we're going to have to go to get there. So yards on the bottom, and the first thing we can do is change yards into feet. So 3 feet is 1 yard. Okay, and that makes yards cancel. All right, then we can change feet into miles. So feet on the bottom, miles on the top. 5,280 is what they give us here. 1 mile. Okay, times in a line. So feet have canceled and yards have canceled. So now I have miles, but I'm trying to get kilometers. So mile on the bottom to cancel. 1.609 kilometers on the top. 1 mile, okay, equals. All right, so let's see. 10, we're going to multiply by 3 because that's on the top and divide by 1. Then multiply by 1 and divide by 5,280. Then multiply by 1.609 and divide by 1. Now this number does only have one significant figure. So for my answer, 0.009 kilometers also has one significant figure. All right. Next one, convert kilometers to feet. Okay, I'm going to do this one in blue. Kilometers to feet. So we can go kilometers to miles and then miles to feet. Okay, so 10 kilometers times and a line. Now kilometers is what we're starting with this time, so it needs to go on the bottom to cancel, and we can change it to miles. Notice we're using the same numbers in terms of our conversion factors, but we can just flip them over to get other stuff to cancel. So 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers, so that cancels kilometers, and then we can change that to feet. 1 mile on the bottom, so the miles can cancel, 5,280 feet. All right, so we're going to multiply 10 times 1, because 1's on the top, then divide by 1.609, then multiply by 5,280 and divide by 1. Now again, they keep giving us these one significant figure numbers. So my calculator is saying 32,815 feet, but if I'm just going to say one significant figure, that's 30,000 feet. Remember, these zeros don't count, but I don't want to change it to just like 3 feet because that's very different. I just want to round. So 32,815 can round to 30,000 feet. Again, I'm not going to be super strict about this unless I specifically ask for the right number of sig figs. But don't give me all the decimal places that this calculator said. Those aren't appropriate here when we have so few significant figures. Alright, so again, pause, finish this worksheet. That's it for today. So work diligently until the bell rings, get as much done as you can, and then turn this in before you leave. Feel free to message me this evening on Remind if there's something you feel like we need to go over more tomorrow.